At 10, in bed, my wife and I watch a cop show on TV. She is also reading a book. She can do that, read and watch TV at the same time. I can't. Her book is about some lunatic who removes the livers from his victims. She thinks he's eating them. I tell her maybe he's feeding them to his cat. Anyway, his motive for murder seems to be liver. To me, that's crazy, but she says it's a bestseller. She's eating peanuts while she reads. I tell her she might get more out of the book if she switched to raisins, and she tells me to stop being so gross, to cut it out, but she keeps on reading and crunching peanuts. While I watch TV. Yeah, it's violent, the cop show, but I'll tell you how I feel about that. Number one, I think it's responsible because it reflects what's going on. And number two, I actually enjoy watching violence that I know isn't real. I think it might even be therapeutic or cathartic, like a safety valve, if that isn't stretching things too far. It's a relief to see death and fear and catastrophe and sorrow and know it's not real, that no one is going to have to suffer any pain or consequences. And it's always done with a moral purpose behind it, the good guys and the bad guys. The difference is, when I was a kid, the good guys always won. Now they're having a hard time keeping up, even on TV. Later that night, after the late news, no new shootings, nobody killed, they still don't know if there was only one headhunter or what they are calling multiple perpetrators. That sounds like the name of a game show, my wife says. The rumor about the scalp convenience store clerks persists, even though it's being denied by the police, and they have a special report on the so-called mass murders, Catholics who have been shot during services at church, which is pretty interesting. They think it might be a priest or a former priest, what they call defrocked. Anyway, the late night shows come on, and during somebody's monologue, I'm making love with my wife. I finally got her to put her book down and the peanuts. She's on top, and she's really getting into it. She's breathing hard and rocking. She's flushed, and she says, "Oh, honey, yes, come on, come on, come on. I'm almost there," when the darn phone rings. Let it ring, I say, like freedom, right? But my wife answers it. She's like that, which is why she can fill in so well at the office. She hands me the phone. It's my sister calling long distance. She's worried about me. Her husband, Fred, works for the FBI, and they were just handed a case about this guy who's killing orthodontists. Get out, I say. No, really, she says. He killed 3 already, the last one about a 4-hour drive away from where I live. And she says the bodies are badly mutilated. The guy is a sickie who tortures his victims before he kills them. They're calling him Butcher Braces. My sister tells me that the Bureau has done a profile on him, and they think he's someone who is either wearing braces now or wore them in the past. That really doesn't narrow it down much. I'm frightened, my sister says. I do my best to reassure her. I tell her you simply can't allow yourself to live in fear. You can't give in to that. In effect, we'd be a nation of hostages. I tell her I'll take all sensible precautions. And besides, if the FBI is on it, they're going to catch the guy. Fred will protect me, I tell her. Fred will get him. She's still worried, my big sister, you know, but finally she hangs up. As I hang up, I'm thinking, boy, check out how tomorrow shapes up. The blue car, no Judy, no replacement, and now this. A lot can happen in a day. It's really amazing. This may be a good time to take a few weeks off. But again, why bother? It isn't like you can actually get away. I'm not going to kid myself like that. A couple of weeks ago, they were taking out tourists in Miami. There's no escape. And then I'm thinking, I wonder if these guys ever run into each other. They must. Like if Butcher Braces happens to be looking for a hunk of Limburger when the cheese guy walks in. Or the jock snuffer is out driving a red car. Busboy works in a convenience store, or the axeman goes to church. They could start killing each other by accident. It could happen. I bet it has. What did she want, my wife says. She's been dozing. I kiss her, taste the peanuts, put my arm around her. Oh, nothing much, the usual, I say. Where were we? I thought you'd never ask, she says, and, instantly revived, she swings up and guides me back into her, starts rocking, and says, "Oh, honey, that feels so good." I'm about ready to explode when suddenly she freezes, tense. "What?" I say. "I thought I heard something," she says. "It's nothing," I say. "It's just your imagination." Then I hear it, too. "Did you hear that?" she whispers. "I've already got my gun from under the bed, a .357. It'll stop anything on 2 legs. Or 4. I flick the safety off and get to my feet. "Stay here," I say. "Don't worry." "Who could it be?" she says. I'm on my way out of the room. I say, "Maybe it's just the new neighbors. They want to borrow a cup of sugar or an egg." "Be careful," she says. Yeah, I'll be careful. I'm out in the hall when I hear her say, "We haven't got any eggs."